A station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Tonight on DC News Now at 6, an early morning shooting in a public parking garage leaves one person dead. What police now know.
It definitely looks like the fishhooks were embedded intentionally.
And dog owners beware. Fish hooks found inside sausages scattered along one street in Northern Virginia. An investigation underway tonight. And protecting your kids online. What one tech expert says parents can do to make sure their children are safe on social media. And good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Ben Dennis. Tomorrow we're expecting to see a first warn day here in the DMV. Our meteorologist Scott Sumner has a look at what we can expect. Hey Scott, we know the National Weather Service has issued a flood watch for tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That came out earlier this afternoon here, Ben, and we'll start around noontime tomorrow and go all the way till 10 p.m. tomorrow night. But we've had some showers out there today and some heavier rain. Obviously, there's nothing severe out there. Otherwise, we would have had some warnings posted. But as you can see right here with our radar scope right along I-29, I-66, leaving the district and moving west from, say, Idlewood over towards Oakton. That's where you're seeing some rain showers now, and they are winding down just a little bit. It's getting a little quieter in this general area, but yet some rain, at least in the last couple of hours, has picked up in and around the Alexandria area, about a little over an inch there. The south of Alexandria and south of I-295, that's where you've had a little bit less, but still about 3/4 of an inch of rain, and a little further out towards the west around Annandale, about 1/3 of an inch of rain. The wider view shows, again, very sporadic hit and miss, nothing severe type of rain, typical summer-like weather across the area. And as far as our future scan shows, you can see a lot of this starting to dwindle here or starting to move at a slow rate. But needless to say, this evening, it's not going to be too bad. We'll have some patchy fog built in where you see some rain. But tomorrow, like I said, it is going to be a severe weather alert day, a warn day. We'll talk about that and break it down, the timing of the storms coming up.
Looking forward to it, Scott. Thank you. Developing now, Montgomery County police say a man was shot early this morning at Silver Spring. Officials tell us those shots rang out around 3 a.m. inside a public parking garage near Thayer Avenue. Authorities say it's a homicide investigation. No word tonight if anybody is in custody. Stay with us for more details. Montgomery County police are investigating an electric construction sign hacked to display racist messages. Police say that the incident happened around 6:45 this morning, with the Montgomery County Emergency Communications Center receiving multiple calls about the sign near Brookville Road. Officials then took the sign down. Police are offering up to $10,000 for any tips that lead to an arrest. And a warning for pet owners. The Animal Welfare League of Alexandria says somebody walking their dog found a sausage with a fish hook inside near Dukes and Ingram Street. Animal service officers were called to the scene and found 9 pieces of sausage with fish hooks inside of them. Anyone in the area who may have security video nearby is asked to contact the Animal Welfare League.
Friday at about 9:30 in the morning, we got a call from a resident saying that they had found a piece of sausage meat with a fish hook embedded in it, and our officers went out. They got there around 9:50 a.m. and throughout a 3-block radius of Duke and Ingram Street, found about 9 more.
It's scary for pet owners there. Anybody who lives in the area with security cameras are urged to check that footage and to contact authorities if they see suspicious suspects at 703-746-6000. And in the district, police say a girl and a man were hit by a car in Southeast today. Gosh, look at the scene there. Police say the crash happened at the corner of 4th and Savannah Street just after 1 p.m. Now, both victims were sent to a nearby hospital. The man facing non-life-threatening injuries while the girl was in serious condition. Well, tonight, D.C. Councilman Trayon White says he spoke with the girl's family. The father was hurt, and she's recovering, the little girl, after her shoulder and hip broke and her skull was fractured. According to the councilman, the driver of the vehicle stayed on scene, and investigators are trying to look into what led up to this crash. And there's a new push to get reckless drivers off of D.C. streets. A new bill would treat violations caught on speed cameras the same as getting pulled over by police and put points on your license. Right now, if you get caught speeding in the district, the ticket goes to the owner of the car since they can't trace who was actually behind the wheel. Our Daniel Hamburger explains how this leads to drivers racking up a lot of money in fines.
It's been 4 months since a deadly crash on Rock Creek Parkway that killed 3 people, including Lyft driver Mohammed Kamara. His brother-in-law, Mohammed Fofana, shocked the car that caused the crash had more than $12,000 in unpaid speed camera tickets at the time.
There are other people who are in similar situation and getting away with it. And how many more lives do we have to lose for these measures to be put in place?
This week, Councilmember Christina Henderson introduced 2 bills to suspend the license and registration of all vehicles owned by or registered to any person charged with negligent homicide, leaving the scene of an accident where there's personal injury, or driving while intoxicated.
It's a big step in the right direction. I think if something like this was in place, maybe they would have caught the person responsible for the fatal accident and maybe put in the car, get her off the street.
The second bill would make it so the driver of a car caught by speed cameras are assessed points instead of just a ticket to the owner of the car. It would require DDOT to get cameras that capture footage of the front of a vehicle by 2025 and require towing or a boot on parked cars with 5 or more moving violations.
With the technology we have in place, these are the kind of procedures that need to be put in place just to make sure people don't fall between the cracks.
That was our Daniel Hamburg reporting. Now, the bill still has to go through a committee and a public hearing before being put up for a vote. Developing now, Baltimore police have arrested a teenager they believe may have been involved in the mass shooting that killed 2 people and injured 28 others last Sunday. Police say the 17-year-old is a person of interest facing weapons charges. Detectives believe several gunmen opened fire that day, and it's unclear if the victims were targeted. They're still searching for other possible shooters from that day. Officials say 3 victims are still recovering in the hospital. One criminology expert says this is a major risk when it comes to large parties and gatherings.
Most large gatherings don't have police protection. A block party wouldn't have police. A house party wouldn't. So that in those cases, the police just wouldn't, they'd have to respond. And by the time they get there, much of the damage has already been done.
Well, starting tomorrow, Baltimore police will be launching new police districts and sectors. They say the plan will improve officer workload and focus on community policing. Over in Prince George's County, Maryland, with a universal design bill, as it's called, leaders are working to make homes accessible to everybody, including people with disabilities. PG County reporter Yamari Sase spoke to one woman who says she had to move out of the county because she struggled to find a home that could accommodate her disabilities.
If people just design with accessibility in mind, there will be no need for accommodation because it would just already exist.
Chandra Smith became disabled almost 2 years ago after a medical issue.
I woke up to a world that wasn't built for me. So simple places that I used to visit, I no longer could because of steps became an impediment. It became Mount Everest.
She struggled to find a place to call home because many places in Prince George's County did not have the accommodations she needed.
They did not have roll-in showers. They did not have roll-under access for the cabinets. They did not have the door width that I needed to be 32 inches wide.
So she had to move farther away from family to Anne Arundel County. And even visiting her loved ones is difficult.
I can't even come into their house. And even if I am able to come in, I can't go to the bathroom.
But with her title as Miss Wheelchair Maryland, she's pushing for change along with Prince George's County leaders. A new bill could require single-family houses and multifamily units to have accessible amenities for everyone.
A wheelchair could get in without having to go over a stair. Full bathroom on the first floor. It takes in mind what you might need in the future or what you and your family might need suddenly today.
And the Maryland Building Industry Association is in full support.
We believe this is a great step forward for the residents of Prince George's County.
If we want to value a world where everything is inclusive, we need to start thinking universal.
The bill will move forward for a vote in front of the full county council, and if passed, it will go into effect in 2026. For now, reporting in Prince George's County, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
An update tonight along the Anacostia River. Folks were supposed to be allowed to start swimming there today for a splash event. Well, it's been pushed to September because the water quality has deteriorated in recent days and part of the recent heavy rain. The event was meant to signify improvements to the river. Parts of the district have a combined sewer system that collects rainwater runoff, domestic sewage, and industrial wastewater all in one pipe. DC is now working on a new tunnel system that would prevent this from happening in the future. With kids out of school for the summer, some are spending more time on social media. Annalisa Gale sat down with an expert and has some helpful advice for parents on how to keep their children safe online.
In a lawsuit filed in June, attorneys representing Montgomery County Public Schools and several other Maryland school districts argue that changes are needed online.
These companies have created harmful and addictive platforms.
They are very likely making it so that they are 18 and up when they sign up for these platforms.
Tatiana Jordan is the chief parent officer of Bark Technologies, an app that allows parents to monitor their kids' social media accounts. Her advice to parents is to, one, set up screen time limits.
Kids have boundless energy. And so they wait for you to go to bed and then they get online. And then they are online all night long, where bad things are happening, bad people, bad content.
Two, have difficult and candid conversations with your kids.
They will at some point, even if they have no access through friends, encounter bullying, sexual content, violent content. And you need to be that North Star for them in terms of, a safe place where they can come and talk to without fear of being yelled at or punished.
And lastly, if they are being bullied,
they need to take a screenshot. They have got to document what is happening. What is the username? What are they saying? How often is it happening? What platform is it happening on? And then it could be nuanced, but block them. If you want to stop it, block it. There might be some secondary and tertiary accounts that pop up because sometimes it just doesn't stop. Block those too.